Hey everyone, this is PrinceBrightstar, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood. So, patch 4.3.5 has released, and so now we have access to new content in the way of Heaven on High, the new version of the Deep Dungeon, which released with this patch. And it all begins here. You do have to complete up to floor 50 of the original Palace of the Dead, which was the original Deep Dungeon, which we covered in last week's episode over the weekend. And you also do need to progress through the main scenario quest as well. And then eventually this will unlock for you here. Let's go speak to Hamikaze. You're Prince, correct? The one Rasho is looking for, if I'm not mistaken? He told me that that if you showed up, I should send you to Kyusei in Crick. Why? Buggered if I know. Nobody tells me anything around here. You'd be better off asking Kyusei himself. Alright. And that is taking us east. Probably over to where it actually is. Yeah, so we are just about there, just have a little ways to go. And of course you could also hit the Aetheryte over there if you wanted to as well. But it really isn't that far of a trip in the end. Alright, here we are. The question is, are we actually going to be able to see the person? Here they are. Yeah, as you can see, it is crowded right here because this is release date, basically, for the patch. Ah, you must be Prince Brightstar. Rasho speaks very highly of you. In fact, there is something that we should like to discuss. All will be revealed in due course, but I feel a change of venue is in order. Pray, wait for us at the foot of Heaven on High. Alright. So, Heaven on High is basically this towering structure that just goes up and up and up. So, our destination is over here. And there we go. Magnificent, is it not? But as you may have guessed, we did not call you here to admire the view. Rather, we would like you to help us explore Heaven on High. Perhaps it is best we explain from the beginning. You say, if you would be so kind. A few nights passed, while I was rearranging supplies in one of the storerooms. I happened across a trap door that I had never noticed before. Upon opening it, I found a tunnel leading underground. The passage led to a chamber lined with an array of bizarre machinery, all glowing and humming. Against my better judgment, I reached out and touched one of the devices, and was enveloped by a blinding light. Next thing I knew, I found myself in a series of ornate hallways, and I was not alone. There was hideous fiends with gnashing fangs and grasping claws everywhere I looked. It was all I could do to run for my very life, until I chanced across a shining orb. As I approached it, I was once more blinded by light. We found him sprawled out in the hidden room below the storage shed. After he came to and shared his experiences, we examined these machines he found. It turns out they are a form of gateway that leads inside Heaven on High, and therein lies the problem. Being from Eorzea, you may not be aware that this tower and the island on which it stands are regarded as sacred. It is believed that when the kami first came to the Ruby Sea, they created Onokoro and built heaven on high as a stairway connecting the earth and their home high above the clouds. The devout are loath to set foot on Onokoro, for fear of incurring the wrath of the kami. To enter into the tower would be an even greater blasphemy. We Confederates, on the other hand, come and go as we please. Since no one else had settled on this island, we claimed it for ourselves. It takes more than a few silly folk tales to scare us, after all. But imagine what might happen if people who do set store by such tales learned we had been poking around in heaven on high. If they heard we were claiming that this holy ground was in fact filled with hellish beasts. At best, they may never trade with us again, and the most fanatical among them might be so bold as to come here with anger in their hearts and murder in their eyes. However, we dare not ignore the threat posed by the denizens of the tower. If Kyusei could escape, what's to stop those creatures from doing the same? Therefore, I would conduct an investigation, quietly. If we dedicate large numbers of Confederates to storming the tower, it won't be long before people start asking questions. On the other hand, you would notice the absence of an outsider such as yourself. And when the fighting starts, you alone are worth a dozen or more of my best men. One more thing. Strange magics govern the tower, surpassing the strength of all who enter. But if anyone can overcome such hindrances, it is you. For what it is worth, I shall be on hand to provide what little assistance I can. I will leave the exploration of the tower in your capable hands. Kyusei may not be the fighting sort, but his knowledge of heaven on high should prove useful. I will also be operating the teleportation device to provide entry to the tower. Thankfully, you will be much better prepared than I was to face the horrors that lurk within. When you are ready, come and find me by the storeroom. Alright, so the storeroom being very close to where we came from just a moment ago. Yeah, I guess nobody would notice this huge crowd of people going into the tower. Yeah. I take it your preparations are complete? Before you enter Heaven on High, I should tell you more about the magics that Rasho mentioned. The scouts that we sent inside all claimed they could feel their very aether being sapped, and that their weapons were somehow robbed of their potency. Even their most forceful blows did little more than graze their enemies. You're familiar with such a phenomenon? Intimately. Is that so? How strange. This kind of enfeebling magic can only have been activated by... Excuse me, I have a tendency to ramble. This is hardly the time for me to start hypothesizing. Luckily, there is a way to circumvent the tower's magical field to some degree. Please, take this with you. It will allow you to wield what is known as an Empyrean Aether Pool weapon. It was discovered inside the tower and slowly channels a person's aether into the form of a blade, spellcasting tome, or what have you. The longer Empyrean Aether Pool weapon is used, the more powerful it becomes. I must stress, however, that even with one of these weapons, progress from one floor to the next will be far from easy. Exploration will largely involve traveling upwards using the teleportation devices inside, which are likely to be heavily guarded. Considering the dangers you will face, we have decided to restrict the investigation to the lower levels for the time being. Once you've reached the 30th floor, please report your findings to Rasho and myself. We shall then discuss whether it is safe to continue past that point. Although we shan't be joining you on your expedition, we Confederates are eager to lend you our support. If there is anything you need, do not hesitate to ask. Alright. And with that, that quest is complete. And Heaven on High is now accessible. So once again, we may enter as a solo player or in a party of up to 4 players. When speaking to QC, you will be given the option to enter with either a fixed party or a match party via the matching system. And you must be a Disciple of War or Magic of level 61 or above to participate. Players will start at level 61 regardless of their current class or job level. Furthermore, only Empyrean Aether Pool arms and armor specific to Heaven on High may be used. Further details can be had by speaking with QC. Alright, so, let's speak to QC. And let's go ahead and enter Heaven on High with a match party. And here we go, floors 1 to 10. Okay, so once again, the setup is very similar to how it was last time. We've got this on the left side here, a mini-map in the upper right corner. Let's go ahead and get this started. Looks like we got a balanced team here. We got a tank, a healer, and 2 DPS, so this would be an optimal setup, especially if you were looking to go to the higher floors of this place. But for now, we're just making our way up to the 30th floor, and then we're going to make a report. And these guys are going down pretty quickly. Once again, the experience needed to level up is greatly reduced. We should be leveling up to level 62 fairly soon. Got a bunch of these creatures here. We saw enemies similar to them over in the Shisui dungeon. There we go, level 62. The Accursed Horde is not on this floor. That's fine. It looks like everybody's actually taking their time here, so that's good. We're not going to be rushing up to the different floors. Oh! I didn't even realize that was an effect on that guy. Alright, looks like that's it for this floor, so let's make our way over to the teleporter. And I've got an effect here that's giving me additional damage for the next 4 minutes or so. There's another silver coffer. Once again, there are probably going to be similar restrictions to what we saw last time, whereby we needed a certain power level with our Empyrean Aether Pool weapon and armor. I'm expecting we're probably going to run into that for floors 21 to 30. Alright, so the Beacon of Passage is open. Let's check out the rest of this floor. It seems they went to a different direction. Alright, level 63. This room's kind of busy. Perfect for a bunch of AoEs. There we go. Alright, let's take on this bombfish here. And up to the next floor we go. Looks like we got a couple of ways we could go here. Here's the Beacon of Return. Yeah, half of the fun of the deep dungeons is just the variety of monsters you can come across. I don't remember ever seeing a bombfish like this before in the game, so it's nice to see different monster designs. Looks like there was a little bit of confusion there. Let's go ahead and pop this. And it looks like it was a good idea for us to come over here, because we've got additional Aether Pool strength. Yeah, I would rather I would rather not skip those guys, but I understand. Up to floor 4 we go. Abilities unavailable. So really, I've just got my basic attacks here then. Let's head down this way first, then we'll be able to get to the room where the exit is after. Oh, that guy's walking. You might remember this guy from I'm trying to remember what it's called now, and unfortunately I can't pull up my my duty list to remember what it's called. It's the level 63 dungeon. Suino Sato, I think. That was the first boss in that dungeon. So nice to see them reuse the model there. We are at 3 Pomanders of Steel, so I'll go ahead and pop one for myself. Since I'm the tank of the group, and I need to stay up. Let's try going for a double whammy. Take a look at this. This is a completely open room here. We keep getting those Pomanders of Affluence, so I keep popping them. Because they give us more treasures after on the next floor each time it's used. Looks like we missed a treasure chest over here. This should make them happy, a big pull. There we go, level 66. Right, we're going, we might actually hit level 70 before we even get to the end of this one. That sleep ability does get a little annoying there, though. Alright, level 67. I'll go ahead and use one of those. Just got a few more packs left. Alright, let's see what we got in here. Okay, we can't carry any more of those, and we've already revealed the map, so... let's go ahead and grab this group, too. That seems like that was a trap that went off at the end there. Alright, so the floor should be clear. Let's go ahead and move on. And we're level 68 now. Alright, we got a sprint enabled. Cool. So that'll at least keep us moving a bit faster on this floor. There really is no reason for us not to be using the Pomanders of Fortune, just because we got 3 of them, and only 4 floors remain. Gotta say, I'm liking the design of the sword and the shield here. But ultimately, it's going to be weaker than what I've got currently, so at the most I'd be able to do with it is just essentially turn it into a glamour. Once again, if you're at this point, you should be familiar, but whenever you see that eye, just turn away. That'll prevent you from turning to stone. Let's go ahead and pop another of those. Alright, our maximum HP is down again. We gotta be kind of careful here. There is level 69. This room's kind of empty. Yeah, this was actually kind of a small floor. But we do have one more creature we can take on. But I don't see any reason why we shouldn't be able to hit levels 70 before we're done with this. Another open room. Now that's interesting. Is that a split in the path? Because I'm seeing two exits here. Anyway, let's get over to where this silver chest is. Alright, we got some magicite here. And that allows us to... Yeah, I'm not really certain. Why are we summoning primals when this whole time we've been interested in just killing them? That I don't get. Alright, so there's the accursed horde. Yeah, looks like that that actually was really effective here, because we're level 70. Almost every single enemy on the floor was taken out by that. Alright, I can redo my strength here. Oh, got it. So even the exits can be a trap now. Very interesting idea. Oh, that was a trap. Let's remove the traps from the floor. Alright, looks like we got one silver chest available. Alright, Beacon of Passage is activated. And that is in the next room. And hey, there are the Mandragoras. Alright. Up to floor 10. Alright, let's get this going. That was a pretty fun 10 floors, and we still got another 20 to go here. Now, who do... Oh, it's you! So, the first 10 floors pose the little obstacle to our intrepid friend, or should I say, the Warrior of Light. After all, this is what Eorzeans call such a hero. Is that not so? A title befitting the one who triumphed over the Black Wolf of Garlemald. I had no idea Western affairs were within your purview. Just how far does your reach extend? You've too many secrets for my liking, but very well. Have it your way. And have it my way I shall. But this is merely the beginning. Alright, and so it looks like we got 10 Poetics, 20 Tomestones of Creation, and 10 Tomestones of Mendicy, as well as 1,000 Gil, and 2 Silver Hallowed Sacks, which are from the Accursed Horde. So, let's go ahead and move on to the next 10 floors. And right now we're just waiting for other players to join the group here. There we go. Alright. Commander of Fortune. Might as well drop that right now. Been a while since we've seen a Goblin. Looks like we got another stable group here of a tank, a healer, and 2 DPS. Alright, we still have to take out a couple of more monsters, it looks like, in order to actually open up the teleporter here. Welcome! Oh, actually, we're already headed into the teleporter here. Alright, auto heal is disabled, so we're going to be relying on our healer then. Overall, this is seeming like a fairly easy floor here. And looks like we... yeah, we are actually headed over to the other side here. Right now, with everybody's Aether Pool weapons being so low level, everybody's basically just trying to grab all the silver chests that they can to power them up. Oh, I think there's another treasure chest in here. Maybe not. We can at least take this guy along for a little bit of a ride here. Alright, into the teleporter we go! Up to floor 13. Alright, so we're gonna have to be careful on this floor. But that helps. Oh no, what's the Namazu doing up here? Alright, back over to the other side, since we still need to take out more enemies. Another Goblin. And it looks like that opened up the passage here. Up to floor 14. seems the group split up for some reason. Alright, back this way. Let's see what we got over here. Doesn't look like anything except a treasure chest. To the teleporter room, then. That's kind of a crowd in there. Huh. Those guys are hitting pretty hard. Alright, we got another of these floors here. You typically don't want to be attacking other enemies while you're trying to open up treasure chests, or things like that can happen. Kinda surprised to be seeing AoEs like that in here. pair of hands coming in. The model for these comes from the boss of what is it? The third Alexander boss from the Alexander raid. Alright, that's the Beacon of Return, but we really don't need to be doing anything in there. Once again, we're just looking for the silver chests and then moving on. Ooh, we're not able to pop any items. Alright, so we're just gonna have to do this the regular way then. Alright, back the other way. Damage is coming out pretty quick from those guys. Alright, there is the thing that lets us move on to the next floor. Doesn't look like there are any treasure chests in there. But let's see if things open up here. Looks like it is. Oh. Those random spawns just come in sometimes. Okay, that looks like a full room over there. Let's see what we can do. There we go. Petrification. And that just lets us take the whole bunch of them out. Alright, let's go ahead and hit this thing over here. Or I guess not. It is nice to bring a ninja along so that they can just grab the treasure chests and not have to worry about fighting any enemies. Alright, we'll go ahead and pop the Pomander of Fortune. Alright, here's a treasure chest. Looks like that's it. And it looks like Pomander of Petrification ran out. Alright, so we are now headed up to the boss room. Let's see if this does anything. Didn't think so. This guy, the reason I just turned is I realized that he looks similar to an enemy that we've seen before in a dungeon, whereby they create copies of what you look like, and those copies then fire beams out into the room. But apparently this guy doesn't work the same way. At least now I know to also watch out for where those butterflies land, because they can apparently cause an electric attack that paralyzes you. Alright. Floors 11 to 20 complete. We just got 10 more to go. The challenger has conquered the 20th floor, and it is only a matter of time before he arrives to confront you. May I suggest that? Yes, quite. In that case, I shall leave you to attend to your duties, as I return to mine. Fare thee well. Not really sure who that is, but we did get 20 Tomestones of Poetics, 40 of Creation, and 20 of Mendicy, 1500 gil, and we got the Silver Haloed Sack from that piece of the Accursed Hoard we found. Alright, on to the last 10 floors. And here we go. Oh dear, I've been turned into an otter. Unfortunately, in this form, I cannot do anything except stand here and look cute, I guess. Alright, we got a silver chest over here. Alright, moving on. Alright, let's make our way out of here. Or I guess not. Alright, up to this 22nd floor. Alright, blinded, which means that it's going to be harder for us to hit enemies, and we also cannot even try to remove it. Alright, Beacon of Passage is open. There is a silver chest in here, so let's go for it. Alright, heading up to the next floor. We're actually kind of light on the pomanders we've been finding this time. But we can probably use this Pomander of Fortune on the next floor. Alright, so the path to the next floor is open. We're just making a run over to there. Hey, Xander. There's supposed to be a silver chest in here, I believe. I don't see it. Okay, there is one to the north, that's for certain. Oh, and actually, the teleport is already active. Alright, let's go ahead and pop this Pomander of Fortune. Got another silver one to the south here. Interesting knockback on that one. Still waiting for one more player. And it looks like they got engaged in some combat. Alright, so we're starting to run full on the Pomanders of Frailty. We can probably go ahead and pop one of them. Things are going okay, I guess. Alright, let's hop into the teleporter. I believe we're gonna get a change of music here now. Yep. Alright, so there's the teleporter to the next floor. Alright. A splinter of Vortex Magicite. So once again, that's going to allow us to summon a Primal. And in terms of the lore, that just makes no sense. Alright, up to floor 28. Uh, Drake, I believe the answer to that requires its own question. How close are you to a planet, and is your back facing the planet? So that you can kind of, well, not your back, but I think you get where I'm going with this. I guess really is your foot facing the planet, so that the ball will actually start to drop towards the planet. Otherwise, it's not really a drop kick, it's more you're pushing on the ball to make it fall down. Alright, so we're making our way over to the teleporter. Ah, hey, we got a Tengu warrior here. Alright, here's another silver chest. Alright, so one piece of magicite was used. Gotcha. I think I was going more for what's the definition of a drop kick if you try to do it in space. Alright, so once the last player gets over here, we are headed up to the final floor, floor 30, and then we are going to do a debriefing on this here. Big guy, huh? Ah, Prince. Full glad am I to see you return safe and well. As for your report on creature activity inside the tower, we shan't be needing it. That you reached the 30th floor and vanquished the one known as Hiruko are all the results we require. Yes, that talk of investigations was something of a false pretext. Perhaps the time has come to share the truth. If you wait for me at the rocky outcrop south of Quickscape Pier, I shall explain all. Alright. So that's going to take us to the northwest. But yeah, that's a very interesting field in that they're basically hurting for people to do that right now. So definitely good on you for going into that. You're probably going to find the salary is better than what it would have been 2 or 3 years ago. There you are, Prince. Now that you have triumphed over Hiroku, we can finally end this charade. For my part, you have my deepest apologies. Nay, there is no need for that. Rosho was only acting in accordance with my instructions that my fabrications might secure your cooperation. Know that I have only been masquerading as a Confederate. In truth, I am a member of the Onishishu. Ours is a sacred brotherhood, which has endured for millennia. That we may safeguard our knowledge, we side with no nation and strive to remain neutral in political affairs. Accordingly, we are wary of placing our trust in those with whom we have yet to establish rapport. In that respect, the Onishishu have something in common with the Confederacy. You have the right of it there, Rosho. Though I must say, you are not likely to find Onishishu members demanding tribute from seafarers or crossing swords with Imperials. In all fairness, I should like to think we all serve the realm in our own way. For our part, my organization seeks the lost knowledge of the Alligans, that it may benefit the peoples of the modern world. The creation and maintenance of Aethernets is one such example. Though my duties are many and varied, keeping watch over heaven on high is among the most important. Very few people know this, but this tower was built as a training ground thousands of years ago by the founding members of the Onishishu. They foresaw that a great calamity would befall this star, and in preparation sought to instruct warriors in warcraft. Keep the island free of intruders. Tales of holy this and sacred that were spread throughout the Ruby Sea. Only the truly fearless would dare approach. The founder of the Confederacy was one such brave soul. He reached the 30th floor of Heaven on High and triumphed over its guardian, but found that he could go no further. Abandoning his quest of the tower, he decided to become a protector of the Ruby Sea. Every Confederate leader since has used the 30th floor as the yalmstick by which we measure ourselves, and like him, we aid the Onishishu in their search for would-be heroes. The higher-ups of your organization have always been our staunchest supporters, allowing us to go about our work while we ostensibly serve as members of your crew. Imagine our delight when you suggested the Warrior of Light himself as a candidate to challenge the tower. Yes, like Rosho and the pirate captains before him, you bested Hiruko. He looked into your soul and found you worthy. Were you found wanting, well, I am sure you can guess the fate of those who do not pass muster. Yet his is a tragic tale. For one of our revered predecessors made the ultimate sacrifice so that Hiruko may be given life. But rather than listen to my account, perhaps you had best see for yourself. Please, make your way to the 10,000-year pine. Though it may appear to be much like any other pine tree, it is far from ordinary. It stands to the northwest of the tower. Alright, let's make our way over to there. Alright, and so we have a winding path. The tree is over there, so I'm guessing this was put in place in case you didn't have flying access? Aha! Elegant technology! Auxiliary protocol system activated. Verifying access permission. Security clearance for floor 31 confirmed. Initiating archive footage projection. Hiroko's incubation period is almost over. All that remains is to add the final ingredient. But Master, must you go through with this? I have lived more than long enough. Perhaps this way I can finally make myself useful. How can you say that? The Onishishu gave all of us a purpose. We would be nothing without you. Oh? Did I bless you all with your intellectual curiosity? Your drive and ambition? Come, but I brought you together. A minor achievement compared to those of my dearly departed friends. They gave their lives that the world might be spared Alag's fate. Though my sacrifice pales in comparison, I should be glad to be of service. Save your words, I will not be swayed. You never were one to change your mind. Then I can do naught but pray you find some measure of peace beyond this life. Our fleeting existences may seem inconsequential in the grand scheme of things, but with them we lay the foundation upon which those who come after may build something greater. I will forever treasure your words, Master. You are the Master now. Take care of our brothers and sisters. Until we meet again, until our souls are reunited. A lovely thought, to see all who I hold dear once more. Those I leave behind, and those who have left me behind. Princess Selena, Desh, if you are watching over me, know this. The Onishishu will continue your legacy. As for me, I have my own duties to perform. I hope I will not keep you waiting for too long. Terminating archive footage projection. Auxiliary protocol system returning to standby mode. Okay. Let us find QC. So, what did you think? The millennia that have passed since the recording have not aged our founder one bit. Ah, the wonders of ancient technology. A pity it is only a projection, though. Hiruko is also looking rather well for his age, of course. That can be attributed to the automated systems that revive him after every defeat. Provided that the machinery is carefully maintained, Hiruko should continue to function as judge, and in most cases, executioner, of those who would climb the tower. That is, until the trials of heaven on high are no longer necessary. I'm pretty sure I've seen that technology before in the Binding Coils of Bahamut. Did I skip a line there? Hang on. Yeah, it's, okay, so, which reminds me, as you will have no doubt noticed, the tower has more than 30 floors that you have visited. Many more, in fact. Of course, even as things stand, you will be forever counted among the finest warriors the world has ever known. None would think any less of you were that to be your final foray into heaven on high. And yet, I sense a yearning within you for ever greater challenges, ever greater opponents. Such a desire is not a thing to be feared. It is to be embraced. Yes, the tower calls to you, my friend. I and my Onishishu brethren shall be waiting for you. Until next time. Alright, so the quest is complete. Heaven on High Apex is now accessible. And we can now explore beyond floor 30 of Heaven on High. Enter floor 31 and upwards, speak to Kyosei. Imperial Aether Pool gear strength can be consumed to obtain Imperial Aether Pool grips from the Confederate Custodian. Imperial Aether Pool grips can then be exchanged with the Confederate Custodian for weapons that can be used outside of Heaven on High. Now, I believe that those weapons are actually going to be only item level 355? Ah, the hero returns, and what treasures do you have to show me this morning? Let's go ahead and take care of these pieces of the accursed horde here. This is about the quality of stuff I'm kind of expecting here. Gedo. Oh, that's a new minion. Okay. Alright. So, with that, at this point we are going to go ahead and close things out for today. If you've enjoyed today's content, please do make sure to subscribe and click the bell to be notified whenever I go live. I also have a Discord, link to that is in the description below. Anytime I go live, I put a notification in there as well. Once again, thank you for joining me today. This is PrinceBrightstar signing off. I'll catch you next time.